these are some things that you may want to put on your note cards for your test. I'm going to ask a question, then I'll ask for someone to give me an answer for it. First question is, give me one thing that the period of a pendulum is independent of. Well, I said, just wait a second. I'm going to call on someone. I want everyone to think about it, and that way I'll call on someone, and hopefully everybody's thinking about it instead of waiting on me to call before you start thinking.
Can you repeat the question?
Name one thing that the period of a pendulum is independent of. All right, Savannah, what's one thing that the period of a pendulum is independent of? The mass, very good. The other day in the lab we discovered that if we had a mass swinging on a pendulum, whether it was whatever the mass of it was, you wound up getting the same period, or you should have. What was another thing that the mass or the period of the pendulum was independent of? See, Ethan, what do you think?
The angle.
The angle, as far as what's concerned.
Like where you, like the angle that the string's at. So
yeah, the angle that you tilted the swing. Right. Yes. Go ahead. Wait, hold up.
Angle of the
Angle what?
There are only two answers,
Oh.
and the two answers are mass and angle. And again, we said as long as that angle is within 15 degrees, the angle doesn't matter. If you get past that, you get a little bit more play in it, and you'll find that it will be affected. But as far as if you're just between 0 degrees and 15 degrees, that it's insignificant. All right. Now, what are two things that the period of a pendulum is dependent on? Another one thing. Harjat, what do you think?
The length of the string?
The length of the string. That was important. What did you discover from the lab when we did what with the length of the string? How would adjusting the length of the string affect something?
It made the period shorter.
If you did what with the length of the string?
If you shortened it.
Yeah, if you shortened it. The period wound up being less. And if you think about band, any of you ever played like a piano?
Yes.
All right. My sister played the piano, and she had this thing that she sat on top of her piano. What was it called?
Metronome.
Metronome, yeah. And, you know, it would tick, 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 tick. And if she needed to speed it up, she pulled the mass down on it, and it wound up ticking faster. She'd get mad at us when we go in there, me and my brother, when we go in there and play with it. She didn't have a sense of humor. And I didn't have a life either, so I guess that all worked out. Thank you, Emil. Now, second to that, what was one other thing that the period of the pendulum was dependent on? Sophia. Khalid's a windshield wiper for whatever this holiday is, Halloween. Yeah, no. Emil? No guess? Jessica?
Mass.
No. It's independent. All right, this isn't Jeopardy. You don't have to
just kidding. I
answer the
didn't mean to say
formal question.
mass.
So what is the
I want to
answer?
say mass.
You said it, didn't you?
Dwight
Oh,
Gary
you
said
said
what
it.
is.
Gravity, yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
say
dependent on gravity.
It's the weight.
And again, if you look at the formula up here, ready for your eyes, you've got the square root of L over G. See, that says here that the period is dependent on both the length and gravity.
Hey, I like the white side.
Any more test questions?
Any more test questions? What would you call the number of vibrations per unit of time? Don't blurt it out.
71.
Adina? Very good. What would you call the time it takes to complete one vibration? Braylon? Period. Very good. So those are the main vocabulary terms we have from. Oh, there's one other thing. I usually ask this question on a test. What are 3 examples of simple harmonic motion? You're trying to be a windshield wiper twofer. Y'all ought to be in the talent show together.
2 examples of simple.
Oh wait, hold up. I'm All right, Gabby, give me one. A tuning fork. All right, go ahead. You had your hand up, didn't you?
Pendulum.
Pendulum, tuning fork, pendulum, and who else back here had their hand up? Dina.
A spring.
A spring, yeah.
How do you say Pendulum?
Pendulum. It's actually on your sheet. Question number 1.
No, I understand that, but
Oh.
you say it like pendulum.
Pendulum. But I usually, I guess it kind of makes a J sound. Pendulum. Pendulum. It shouldn't, but
Wouldn't it be a pendulum?
I'm asking, what was the third question?
what now?
The third question was dealing with frequency. What was the exact question you said?
Well, don't try to memorize the exact question because I could reword it different. But essentially what I asked is, what is the number of vibrations per unit of time? But don't try to memorize it that exact way because I don't take notes of myself in class, so I don't know exactly what the exact wording I give y'all. So just be careful with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Okay.
We work on that now.
Y'all are?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the law of universal gravitation. So you can title this Newton's